Alright, we'll take these out of here. And as I pick that up, I'm going to set those on the branch line. Hey everybody, Joey G with Touch of the Brush Model Weathering, and today it is a beautiful fall day. I am going to Huntsville, Arkansas, and visit my buddy Roger. He has a beautiful Western Maryland layout that takes place in the 50s, and it is in progress of being completed as we speak. So let's go pay him a visit. So what's this town here exactly?
This is called Hoskins.
Hoskins, okay. And this is the yard that's being built.
Hoskins is named for the guy that designed the railroad for me. He's my buddy up in Maryland.
Okay.
And it's similar to Elkins. Elkins is where they did their main work on hopper cars. They rebuilt them, painted them, did whatever they needed with them. And Elkins was the focal point. South of Elkins was 3 branches that went off to different coal mines and stuff. One branch went off to the C&O in Durban. Mm-hmm. And they had trains, engines, just bring nothing but hoppers into Elkins. They've switched them out and made trains. And you always see the pictures, I don't know if you've seen them or not, but it's real famous seeing like 8 steam engines and 80 freight cars, 80 hoppers loaded.
Oh wow, I'm sure.
It took 1 engine for 10 cars.
Jeez.
They usually have 2 or 3, maybe 4 on the front, and then 3 or 4 in the middle, and then 3 or 4 in the back.
Unbelievable.
And when they left here, they went to a town called Thomas, which is what that other station's going to be.
Okay, that's on the other side here?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's not what that town even remotely resembles, just that one train station.
Oh, the train station,
but when
gotcha.
they got there, they cut off all those helpers, and they assembled a train of, like 80 to 100 hopper cars loaded, and they took them to Cumberland.
Wow.
And when they got to Cumberland, then they further broke them down and sent them all over.
So you're modeling, obviously, the late
fall.
50,
53, 54.
50, okay.
In fall.
And that makes sense because you look at that painting, it's pretty much what you want to do as far as the fall colors. Yeah, well, that's going to look cool.
I've always been fascinated with the fall. Growing up in Maryland, I look forward to the fall because the trees are so pretty. And the weather is just so good.
Nice. And so, all right, so we're going to come around here. Right, and this is the town of Roland.
This is the town of Roland, which is not a real town. It's named after my grandfather, Roland Whittle.
Okay.
If you notice, the lumber industry over there is Whittle, R.T. Whittle, and this is Roland. And this is just a coal mine. It's going to be a three-track coal mine. I haven't decided how to build it yet. I don't know how to design it or put it together, but it'll be 3 tracks, and there'll be coke ovens in that little stub track back there.
Oh yeah,
that's a coke ovens. That's going to be named after a good friend of mine, Pensy modeler down in Houston, named Lanny Woodruff. And all these little buildings here are going to be named after friends and modelers and stuff like that.
Nice. Do you have a name for your layout, or is it just Western Maryland?
I'm undecided. I wrote up a little what do they call it, the backstory?
Backstory, yeah.
I wrote up a backstory and I called it the Ozark Division of Western Maryland, but I don't know. That doesn't float my boat much.
No, no, because you're modeling the Appalachia.
So I'm going like, well, I haven't figured that out yet. Like I say, this is going to be a very interesting town. I got this team track here. Other than the team track and the Coke spur up there, it's just nothing but coal here. There's no other industries or tracks or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And like we were talking about, this right here, all these little placemats are going to be miners' cabins, and this will slope away from the track and go up probably about this high maybe, and that'll just be like a ridge here, and then it'll come over here, and I don't know. I want to use this.
Ooh,
I want to use this AccuRail maybe. I cut it off short the other day, but I want to make this to where this comes over the track. Kind of a view block between Richwood over there and Roland here.
Mm-hmm.
And the track will come, the road will come down this way and probably go between those buildings. And I want to get some kind of a church here, have it curve around the church, and I put a little graveyard here.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Typical little Appalachian, whatever, mining town.
Yeah.
My whole life, it was Appalachia.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been watching videos now, and I find out that I've been wrong all this time. It's pronounced totally different. So it's like everything else that I grew up with. It's gone now, you know.
Yeah.
So, city to switch. You know,
Yeah.
the coal mine's going to keep you real busy with 3 tracks. And I've been mentally figuring out how to function this, how to switch it. The best I can come up with is I'm going to come out of Hoskins with an empty train on the main line, which is the far track, and then switch out the loads onto the passing siding here, and then I'm going to leave, then I'm going to take the empties and put them in the mine, and I'll have an engine and a caboose, and they'll run a hop all the way around to Summers, because I can't see the railroad backhauling, 50-ton hopper cars all the way down there, and then all the way up to grade.
Yeah. Right.
They would, I would think operations would just use an engine and a caboose. This is the town of Richwood. This is named after a good friend of mine in Massachusetts that models a B&O. Got an awesome B&O like that.
I'd like to see that.
But he helped me with some of the problems I was coming up with. So I figured I'd name the town after him. But like I say, this has got a pretty good sized main line. This is the main, and it'll go up to this station. It's going to be representative of Thomas, West Virginia. And I've got a big dairy there, Berg's Dairy, named after a dairy I used to buy all my milk and stuff from when I lived in Maryland. And that's going to be the Whittle building lumber, building supply, building.
Yeah, this right here.
Yeah, and there'll be coming up to here.
Yeah, that's it.
Maybe I'm not sure. This is still under investigation.
Yeah.
I would
TBD.
I've got 3 really nice Atlas propane cars.
Yeah.
And I'd like to use them. DB Gills or something.
DB
like
Gills
that.
was a pickle factory in there. Okay.
Actually, it's a salting station. They call it a pickle factory, but I've been doing research on pickling. That was a salting station.
Yeah.
It wasn't a factory at all.
Which is pretty funny because across the way is going to be the whorehouse. So it's very salty.
Yeah, and this is going to be a whorehouse. I figured that's just appropriate. The low side of town here, all by itself. And like I say, down here, this will be the representative of the Thomas station. I've got this temporarily. This is a parking lot. And this is going to be one of the roads coming through main part of town. These are all going to be the Walther's Merchants Row, 1, 4, and 5, and they'll be shortened naturally because almost a flat. And then the road will come here and then come across this way. And there'll be a lot of trees here. I was thinking about maybe one of those Woodland Scenic gazebos over here, because they're pretty small. And this will be Cockerham Precision Gears and Fasteners, named after my very best friend down in Texas.
See, what I love about the layout so far is that you have everything divided in like the vignettes, in a way, you know, because you come around the curve. Now you're in Richwood, right? And you got the crossing, so you got the trains coming around the curve, and it's gonna hit the crossing, enter the next town. So and the shortest amount of space you have in this layout. I mean, the space that you have, you condense it, but it's gonna be very effective with the scenery.
You know, you have to break it up a little bit. I don't have long expanses like some of these guys. You know, they got, you know, like Tony Custer. He's got some towns that are 30 feet long, 25.
Yeah,
feet
yeah.
I can't do that. You know.
No, and this is literally just perfect for the size.
And it's a small railroad. It's not a big one. 14 by 16 is not big as far as I'm concerned.
No, and it's a branch line. That's the cool part. It's a branch line.
I'm not doing the Western Maryland line, the main line from Baltimore to Connellsville. I couldn't do that because, number one, I couldn't afford the locomotives.
Yeah.
Because they ran their big decapod. They had two classes of decapod, I-1 and I-2. I-1 was Russian, and I-2 was that humongous thing that made the Penceys look small.
Yeah.
And you know, they're selling, depends on, Custom Brass made them and Overland made them, and I heard that Division Point made them. And as I said those names, the price goes astronomically. The Custom Brass you can get for about 500 plus change. The Overland is closer to 9, and I haven't seen a Division Point, but you know that's going to be $1,300, $1,400.
Oh yeah.
You know?
And plus you articulate it on the main line.
I would need to make it a reasonable looking railroad. I need 6 of those.
Yeah. You know? yeah. Especially if you're doing coal.
They usually use 2 per train. You know, there's always a head end engine and a mid train, and then usually a helper in the back. You know, this starts a downgrade here. Everything else is 54 inches. And when you start right here, this starts down what I call Lee Hill, named after a friend of mine, Lee Hill. And it's just going to be a scenic area, nothing in it except scenery. Going to be some bridges here. This is the Central Valley. This is going to be a concrete arch bridge, and a river here, and one at the other end with micro engineering girder bridges. And this is just going to be pure mountain scenery with nothing but trees. And
yeah, we started with the contour just to give you an idea of what the shape is going to look like here. And it's just snakes and winds, which is going to look so cool.
It's not going to go up this high, and this isn't going to have this sharp peak. It'll be, I don't know if you can see the scratch mark there, it'll go about that high. Enough that when the trees are there, you'll have to look through the trees to see the train.
Right.
Give you the effect of, you know, being in a really mountainous area.
Right, and then it's going to drop down this way, and then you have another bridge here, right? Cook's Trestle.
Be 3, named after a friend of mine in Maryland named Russell Cook.
Nice.
And he's the first railroad I ever operated on back in 73. He was in model railroad, modeled the Laurel, Kristen, and Johnsville. And it was a really fine little railroad. Very small. He was nice enough to let me operate, being so stupid.
Okay. Oh, this is Summers, Maryland. Okay.
This is Summers, and Summers is Jedediah coal mine, and this is a helper station because to get up to 2.7%, I can actually pull up there, but I wanted to have pusher operation.
Of course. Yeah.
So there'll be 2 Western Maryland 2662s, which are actually C&O H6s, like on the Western Maryland Scenic.
Yeah.
There'll be 2 of them stations here. And the building over here where the air conditioner's drooping is going to be the company store.
Yeah, that's over there by the yard right now.
The warehouse. There's the store, and that's going to be the warehouse right next to it.
Nice.
And this is going to be engine servicing through here. And I got 2 Walther's turntables, one here and one at Hoskins. And like I say, I'll be able to bring in 15 or so hoppers and take out 15 or so. And this building will service, I can put 5 40-foot boxcars in there. And that's the end of the railroad. This is, the Walther's New River Mine. And that's from Walther's Glacier, what do you call that thing? Glacier gravel.
Gravel, yeah.
That's the pieces of that,
That's
without that ugly concrete base thing they had. I hate that. But there'll be coal come in from over here, come into this main building. It'll come into here, then it'll go up. It'll go up into here somewhere. This, I don't know where I'm gonna put this. But it's got the boiler house over there, which will have a coal conveyor.
Yeah, this can be a cool operation. I mean, the whole house can be a cool operation, but this is really cool.
But
Nice.
that's it. And I'm going to use
awesome.
the micro mark, what you call it?
Car cards,
Car cards. Yeah.
waybills, yeah. I have those too.
And I got Dynatrol. But I think I need to get a couple more of these new reel.
And cup holders.
Yeah.
For soda.
When the railroad gets to where I can run from here all the way over there will be no drinks on my road.
Yeah, right.
And it's a habit I've been trying not to do, but I don't have anywhere else to
I mean, the thing leaking, it doesn't look like it's looks like a rain effect. Like it's raining in the mountains.
look at that already.
I know, there's a lot more. Yeah, we'll fix that and
I'll have to
we'll
set the
be.
alarm clock for about 1 in the morning, come out and empty that. I'll throw it out before I go.
Yeah.
But anyway,
That's awesome.
this is my world.